Now, when it comes to the this debate issue, I mean, I know you have tried to debate your opponent, Ed Jones, on a few different occasions, and can you tell me why is it important that you be able to publicly debate him?
Well, we actually had a debate planned, and we both agreed that the format on the debate that was planned looked to us to be somewhat adversarial, and we really didn't want that type of debate.
Okay.
And so we agreed to cancel that one, but to do another one with a better format is what I wanted. And you know, we called Edward a few times and requested a debate in a different format, or maybe even not call it a debate, but call it a question and answer session. But I think it's important that he and I face the people and answer some lingering questions that they may have. We've had forums already during the primary, but we had 7 candidates in those forums.
Right.
And you know, if it's just Edward and I, it can give the people a clearer choice on what they're on who they're getting as their next mayor. And so I think it's important that we have a debate. I still would like to have one. It's not too late.
Right.
It's just Tuesday, and we have until next Tuesday, so it's not too late to schedule one. I think it's important for the people to hear what we have to say, just he and I.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. How do you perceive the community is reacting to the information that has come out on Ed Jones recently?
I think the community has some questions about it.
Yes.
I know I don't know much about it personally. I think somebody sent me an email that I looked at. You know, it doesn't look good, but I'm sure Edward could explain what's happening with that, and a debate probably would give him a good opportunity to just clear the air on that and move on.
Yes.
So I think a debate would be helpful to both Edward and myself.
Well, speaking of rumors, you know, there's this rumor about you being a Republican or being a Tea Partier, and I'd like you to dispel the rumors by talking about the controversy regarding the articles that you've written, opinion articles,
right,
in different news magazines. You talk about that for a minute. Just let us know where you really stand.
Okay. All right. I'll be glad to.
All right.
First of all, I guess I'll deal with the Tea Party issue. I go to a church in Ruston, and our church is about 45% African American and 55% Caucasian, or it may be 50-50 now. It's real close. And when the Tea Party, when the Tea Partiers in Ruston first started organizing, they didn't have a place to meet. And so they would meet at different churches in the gymnasium around town.
Yes.
And our pastor allowed them to meet at our church on a weeknight, on a Tuesday night, and invited some of us to come. And I wanted to know what was going on. So I went and sat and heard what they had to say. And a couple of more people not from our church actually attended the rally, and I think when they saw me and maybe some others there, they assumed that we were members of the Tea Party.
Okay.
Well, the Tea Party just happened to be at our church that night,
Yes.
and I'm a pretty curious fellow, so I wanted to know what they were talking about. So I sat in on it, and I think that's where the rumor started, but for political purposes, I think it's been really blown out of control.
I see.
And I think my opponents have had a field day spreading that, and that's just the way it goes in politics.
Right.
So,
Right.
hadn't been to a Tea Party rally since then. Didn't really like the way that one went. But that's just what happens in politics.
I do understand.
Yeah. I'll talk a little bit about the article that you were referring to. It was an article in Black Enterprise magazine, actually just one article.
Yes.
And it was part of an ongoing debate around the time that President Barack Obama was elected president.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a debate between several readers in Black Enterprise, and
You
again,
mean like in a blog format,
right,
where you're
right,
kind of responding to each other, and
exactly,
that kind of thing.
exactly. And we were shooting emails pretty quick back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was somebody took a portion of my email and made copies of that one portion without making a copy of the whole thing in context.
Yes, sir.
And kind of passed that email around town, and basically tried to show that I was against President Obama. And again, it was a political trick, and,
Yes.
and I understand trickery.
Yes.
And you know, I wouldn't have got into a race had I not been expecting things like that. And again, my opponents have had a field day with
Yes.
that article. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you this quick story and I'll stop. But one lady that I visited promised me that she would pass that article all around town and campaign against me, because I am not a registered Democrat. I am a registered independent. But she promised me that she would take that Tea Party thing and that article and pass it around town and campaign against me, and she has done a wonderful job.
Wow. Okay.
Because everywhere I go, people ask me about that article.
So they're at least asking you, though.
Yeah, people ask about that all the time. One lady was nice enough to invite me into her house, and she had a whole list of questions that she asked, and I appreciate that.
Come on.
I'd rather people ask about it than draw their own conclusions,
Right.
and just actually draw the wrong conclusion.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because you evidently there are some concerned citizens who want both sides of the story.
right.
You know,
Right.
and
Right.
that's a huge issue. You know, if you're just going to listen to one side, maybe you don't really want to know the other side. You know, when I talked
Right.
with you the other day, what did you mean by campaigning is more difficult than you thought it would be? What did you mean by that?
Well, that was at the end of a day.
Okay.
When
You must have had a hard day.
Yeah, kind of out, and it's not natural for me. I'm a business type guy,
Okay.
and I deal with numbers a lot, and I deal with people, but not in the mode of a campaign, just in the mode of business and real estate and mortgage lending and things like that. So it was at the end of a day. And I was thinking, and you kind of caught me at a time when I was tired.
Sure.
But
And that's all of us, really.
yeah, what I meant by that was just dealing with the rumors and the whispers. That part of campaigning is
Yes.
kind of tough, because you find yourself chasing rumors and things that are not true, instead of talking about real issues like how to move Grambling forward and what kind of business can you bring in.
Yes.
You end up talking about things like a Tea Party or a Republican or a Democrat.
Yes.
And, you know, it's not helping Grambling at all to talk about those things. So that part of campaigning is difficult, and I'm sure my opponent has experienced that too. Just, you know, having to talk about things that are not important, or rumors that people heard.
Yes.
But I guess that's just a part of it, and we have to deal with it when we put our hat in the ring.
Well, do you have any final words that you'd like to just say as an appeal? I mean, you know, I'm pretty much finished with everything I had to ask you. I mean, perhaps you'd like to just close out for us and let us know what you know, take an opportunity to make a final statement.
Okay, I guess my final statement would be what makes me different than my opponent would be my business background and my financial skills.
Yes.
And I think those are two things that are missing in the leadership in Grambling, and that's one reason that we haven't moved forward in the past. We have to elect people who have business backgrounds, who have financial skills, who understand those things, and then we can move forward as a city. And I think at this time in Grambling's history, that's the kind of leader we need. Maybe we can go back to the other kind of leader later, but I think it's crucial this time that we have a person with a financial background a person who understands business to move this city forward.
I understand. Well, it's been a great interview, and I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, David.
Yes, sir.
All right.